Hello and welcome to my channel. In this tutorial we're gonna do a very easy scarf for you guys, the beginners. 1 row repeat. I will suggest you use a soft yarn and a bigger crochet hook than the yarn recommends if you want the scarf to be a little bit flexible and not so sturdy and rigid. Yeah? If some of you choose to do this scarf, I will say you need between 280 grams of yarn and 300 grams of yarn if you are to attach tassels at the bottom of the scarf, fringe or tassels. The stitch is reversible, front and back. For those of you that you live in cold climates, windy, all that, this is just perfect, but I will recommend you use a bigger crochet hook. So for this scarf, what you're gonna need some yarn of your choosing. This yarn, for example, recommends that I should use at the most 3.5 millimeter crochet hook, but I choose to work this scarf with 7.0 millimeter crochet hook. And you're gonna need a yarn, a crochet hook, and a pair of scissors, and you will be good to go. Yeah. Okay. Like I said, this stitch has 1 row repeat. This stitch works with even numbers. So you're gonna chain your even numbers. I chain here just to do a small sample. It's up to you how wide and long you want your scarf to be. Yeah. I don't like wide scarves, and I don't like too long. So it's up to you. Each of you decide how you like that scarf to be. So I chain here even numbers. We're gonna skip the first chain. And into the second chain from the hook, we're gonna do a single crochet. Next chain, single crochet, and this row is gonna be single crochet in each chain. I think this is the fastest scarf that, let's say, a beginner can do, or even advanced crocheter. It goes really fast. But I will suggest have at least, at the minimum, 280 grams of yarn with this for this scarf. Yeah? So the last chain, single crochet. We're gonna chain 1, turn your work, and now into the first stitch, right here, we're gonna do a single crochet. This is how you're gonna start every row in order to have the edges nice and straight. Let's say we're gonna have to start with a single crochet and finish with a single crochet in the last stitch. Okay, so we did a single crochet in the first stitch. Now into the next stitch we're gonna do a puff. So we're gonna go through the stitch. So once, yarn over the hook, go back again into the same stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over the hook, go back again and pull another loop. You should have 6 loops on your hook, 2, 4, 6. Pull the yarn through all 6 loops. Now into the next stitch we're gonna do a slip stitch. You pull up a loop and you take this loop through this one. Now into the next stitch we're gonna do a puff. So once, twice, and the third time. 6 loops on the hook, pull the yarn through all 6 loops. Into the next stitch we're gonna do a slip stitch and pull this loop through this one, and into the next stitch a puff. So we're gonna alternate like this. So once, twice, and the third time. 6 loops, pull the yarn through all 6 loops, next stitch, slip stitch. So into the next stitch we're gonna do a puff. So once, twice, and the third time. Next stitch, slip stitch. Next stitch, a puff. Pull the yarn through all 6 loops, and now we have the last stitch in which we're gonna do a single crochet the way we started, and you will have a nice straight edge, the sides of the scarf. Now chain 1, And from this moment forward, this will be the row that you're gonna repeat until you finish your project. Into the first stitch, single crochet. Next stitch, a puff. So you're gonna do a puff on top of the puff from the previous row and a slip stitch into the slip stitch from the previous row. Yeah? So once, twice, and the third time. 6 loops on the hook, pull the yarn through all 6 loops into the next stitch, slip stitch. Next stitch, a puff. Next stitch, slip stitch. And so on. And this, believe me, this is working with this one, you're gonna finish really, really fast. The scarf, if it's a blanket, well, might take some time. But for a baby blanket, I think even the baby blanket might take you maybe more than 4 hours, maybe 6 hours. So the next stitch, it's puff. So the last stitch of the row, single crochet. You're gonna chain 1, turn your work, and you're gonna repeat the row. I'm gonna do this row and then I'm gonna stop. Into the first stitch, right here, single crochet. So into the next stitch is the puff. So you're gonna go through the stitch and you're gonna start pulling up loops. So you're gonna do that 3 times. So you should have 6 loops, 2, 4, and 6. Next stitch, which is tucked between the puffs, right here in the corner, is the slip stitch. Next one, it's a puff. Next stitch is slip stitch. Next one is puff. Slip stitch into the next stitch and into the next a puff, and you're gonna alternate like this. I think for a blanket this is nice to alternate colors. If you like, you can use variegated yarn, it's up to you. So into the next stitch is the puff. So once, twice, and the third time. 6 loops on the hook, pull the yarn through all 6 loops and into the last stitch, single crochet. Let's say you finish your project, if you choose to do a scarf, then to finish, because we started with a single crochet at the bottom, we should finish with a single crochet on top, the last row of the project. So we're gonna chain 1, turn your work, into the first stitch, single crochet. Next stitch, single crochet, which is the puff in there from the previous row. Next stitch is the slip stitch from the previous row, in which you're gonna do a single crochet in each stitch. And this is it. It's very, very easy. It goes really fast, this scarf. For you guys, the beginners, it's amazing. You're gonna be very, very proud of yourself working this stitch and finishing really fast. So the last stitch, single crochet. Also, you're gonna chain 1, you're gonna pull up a loop, and then you're gonna cut the yarn and then hide the tail. Yeah. So this one, to have a little bit, you know, to be flexible, you're gonna have to use a bigger crochet hook, yeah, than the yarn recommends. So yeah, this went really fast. I just did a sample for you guys, just to see how this might look on as a scarf. Yeah? And it's quite elastic and it's flexible. If you are to use the exact crochet hook that the yarn recommends that you're gonna use, it's gonna be really compact, really rigid, and really stern. Yeah. So you want it a little bit flexible. Yeah. Well, give it a try. You might, some of you might enjoy working with this stitch. Give it a try. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.